Alright, so let me just start off by saying, if you're watching this, thank you. Because I'm aware that this video will get no traction because, small YouTuber and such. And the big YouTubers that play this game will never even acknowledge anything that I say in this video because, Bandai gives them free shit, so why would they ever talk bad about them? But my goal in this video, no matter how long it is, this video could be 15 minutes, this video could be an hour. I don't know how long it'll be. I don't have necessarily a script, more of a guideline of all the points I want to talk about. This is going to be an in-depth conversation, I guess, about all the problems with Dragon Ball Legends. Why I am just so close to deleting the game after supporting it for so long. And truth be told, there is a part of me that wants to convince at least one other person to delete this game. Because the game has problems. The game has had problems for over a year. Bandai has done nothing to fix them. And again, I don't have faith that this 2.1 update is going to actually fix anything. It's just going to add a bunch of shit. Add a bunch of shit that is just going to be even buggier and add more problems to the game. Bandai isn't exactly, known for fixing things. They just add more problems. Xenoverse 2 is a great example. So, that's the point of this video. It's going to go over every single thing in depth that I have a problem with when it comes to Dragon Ball Legends, from the summoning systems to PvP to PvE. Every little tiny intricate piece of Dragon Ball Legends will be dissected in this video. I may leave a few small things out, but other than that, this video is going to be long. And if you actually watch the whole thing, thank you. And if you actually give a damn, share this video, please. Just try and get it some sort of traction. Because Bandai has become complacent with churning out shit because they know people will buy it. Bandai Namco has zero competition in the anime industry. None. So, we're gonna buy all of their bullshit no matter what. The fans are complacent. The people at the top, the YouTubers at the top, are complacent. And Bandai knows that. I'm not complacent. I want good games because you care about the fans. I don't want shit games because you know the fans will buy them. So, just try and get this somewhere. If I can make even the smallest change, if we can at least get Bandai's attention. I know Bandai's not gonna do shit. Seriax and Rhymestyle went to Bandai headquarters about a year ago with the fucking book full of problems with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and what they should do to fix those problems, and they ignored all of it. So I know this video, even if it were to reach Bandai, wouldn't make a goddamn difference. They don't fucking care. But it's just the fact that we were able to get there in the first place that I want. I need this game, as well as other Bandai games, to get better. So, 4-minute intro later, let's get started with the video, shall we? This is, I don't actually know what I'm going to call this video yet, but Dragon Ball Legends in depth. One of the worst mobile games ever made. Let's get started. Alright, so as you saw, part 1, horrible summons. So, let me explain. Take a look at this summon that I did on Dokkan back when the LR Gohan came out. as you can see, obviously, we pulled the Gohan. It was pretty cool. But there's 3 SSRs. So, you've got the LR in Gohan, which is basically the equivalent of like your Legends Limited. We've got the Guaranteed SSR, and the SSR is your equivalent of a Sparking. So, every single multi-summon has a guaranteed Sparking in it, basically. And then we pulled another SSR earlier in the summon. But look at how many rares we pulled. 2 rares. 2 rares are basically your hero units, right? So we got 3 SSRs, including the guaranteed. 2 rares, and then the rest were SRs. So that's basically, in Legends terms, 3 Sparkings, 2 heroes, and the rest are extremes. Now look at this summon I did. This was actually from last night's live stream. 9 heroes and 1 extreme. Do you not see the problem with that? 9 heroes and 1 extreme. You don't believe me that they're shit? Alright, let's take a look at another multi-summon that I did on the LR Gohan banner. This one actually isn't as good. You see, we have what? 1, 2, 3 rares in this one. Only 1 SSR, and that was the guaranteed. But the majority is still SRs. The extremes take up the majority. You see how that's better? Now look at this summon. This summon would be considered pretty good in Dragon Ball Legends. We got 2 Sparkings. They're the same damn Sparking. But 2 Sparkings nonetheless. And we got 2 extremes. But just look how or we got 3 extremes actually, and just look at how the majority is still heroes. 5 hero units, 3 extremes, 2 Sparkings. Now if it were 5 extreme units, 3 heroes, and 2 Sparkings, wouldn't have that big a problem. It's the fact that it's possible. It is actually possible to get a 10 hero multi. That is dumb. No one, and I mean no one playing Dragon Ball Legends wants or needs a 10 hero multi, or a 9 hero and 1 extreme, or even a 9 hero and 1 Sparking. That happens way too often. You get a guaranteed Sparking animation, you're feeling hype, and then you get 9 heroes with that Sparking. And it's just like, really? And speaking of animations, holy shit, Legends. Can you put some new animations in? Because Dokkan just recently put some animations in. And you know what? They did add some animations during the anniversary, I believe it was. I think that's when Bardock and Trunks were added. I don't know. It may have been before that. But they do add animations, but they're all guaranteed Sparking animations. You could see Goku Black's Rift and not see an LR. Like, that's a thing that could happen. You can see a whole bunch of Dokkan animations and not actually pull even a single featured unit. It's just the fact that you can see those animations, whereas I have seen Bardock and Trunks maybe a combined total of 10 times. Between the two of them, 10 times since the animations were added to the game. First of all, those animations are almost the only way to pull a brand new unit. If you don't see one of those 2 animations, your odds of pulling a new unit are ridiculously low. They really just are the 1% that they say. And speaking of 1%, I always made a joke that your odds of pulling a Sparking unit in Legends was, next to 0. But actually looking at it and thinking about it, it really is. There's only a 1% chance that you pull that unit. Your odds of pulling it are actually almost 0. And then there's Legends Limited characters who have 0.25%, which is just that's just mind-blowing how anyone is actually able to pull them. But you want to know why the rates are so shit? because they want you to buy their overpriced crystals. They want you to buy this $33 pack in which you get 2 multi-summons and 2 tickets. You don't even get a full 5 tickets. You get 2 tickets. They don't even give you enough to make up for it. If it was 3,000 crystals and 2 tickets, at least you can make the argument, hey, they give you 2 free tickets and then they give you enough crystals to get the rest of the tickets. Alright, fine. But it doesn't even do that. You still gotta grind up another 1,000 just to get one more ticket. And the game does not give you crystals. The only time the game ever actually gave us crystals was during the anniversary. The anniversary was so kind, but the dumb part is, the anniversary was how the game should just be all the time. There was always something to do, there were always a lot of crystals to grind, and there were actually good units out that in banners. Hell, there was even a free banner. It gave you a free multi-summon every single day. Why can't Master Pack do that? Why can't our daily discount for Master Pack just be a free multi? Or like a 10 crystal multi? Fuck it. It's not like Master Packs are these, end-all be-all banners. You're not going to pull LF Vegito or, the new Vegeta off these damn banners. So just let us have something, man. I mean, hell, even friend summons in Dokkan are usually kinder than Master Pack summons. At least you can pull an LR. Whether or not you actually get to use that LR is, neither here nor there. But the fact that you can pull an LR unit in a free summon, all you need to do is have friend points. And you're probably wondering, well, how the hell would they do that in Legends? Friend battles. Get like 100 friend points for every friend battle you do. It would encourage people to play the game with their friends. Probably encourage other people to download the game so that they can play it with their friends and get these free summons, and have that be Rush Limited. Have Rush Limited be that. The rates for the Sparkings are already shit. You're never going to pull a Legends Limited unit off that damn banner, so why not? Let that be Rush Limited. Or if not, just let it be Master Pack. Let us use those friend points for Master Pack. There's an idea right there. I just made up a whole new idea just on the spot. But looking at all 4 of these multis together, you can see the huge disparity between them, right? Dokkan is very fair and gives you... Now, keep in mind, in Dokkan you can't use SRs. I mean, you can, but you're not going to have a good time. In Legends, you can absolutely use extreme units. So there is that difference there. But you can really only use newer extreme units. You're not going to be using, extreme Raditz. You might have him on the team for some health, but you're not going to take him into any sort of battle. Extreme Broly now. If I had Extreme Broly, I'd be using him all the time. But that's not the point. You can only use a certain amount of extreme units. So I think it should still be the case. I'm not saying get rid of hero units entirely, right? One, they're a good way to farm Z medals. I mean, once you 7-star your hero units, you get 100 Z medals every single time you pull one. So don't phase them out completely. But the ratio shouldn't be, what is this one, like 73% for hero units and then like 5% for Sparkings in the Rush Limited banner? It's just like, that should be not reversed, but the extreme units should definitely be the ones with like the highest pull rate. Because one, it would make it much easier to pull new extreme units. They make it damn near impossible to do that. But two, it wouldn't discourage people from summoning so much. If I knew that there was like an extremely small chance of pulling a 10 hero multi or a 9 hero 1 extreme, I wouldn't be so upset about doing multis and not getting a Sparking in it. If I could pull 6 extremes and then 4 heroes, that'd be dope. I'd be okay with that. If I can pull 7 extremes, 2 heroes, and a sparking, bet. But whenever you get multiple sparkings in a summon, it's like the hypest shit ever. But if you get multiple SSRs in a multi in Dokkan, it's just like, that's just normal. Like, you're honestly more disappointed if you don't get an SSR beyond the guaranteed one. But I almost said Xenoverse. In Legends, it's almost impossible to see more than maybe 2. Like, I've gotten 3 sparking multis before. I think I even got a 4 sparking multi once, but only once. In Dokkan, I once had a 5 SSR multi. I don't have the screenshot to prove that, because unfortunately that was on a different phone and all my old pictures got hacked a while back, so unfortunately I can't prove that, but it did happen. 5 SSR multi, including the guaranteed, of course. So it's just like, that should be the norm for Legends as well. I don't understand why Dokkan is just so much better with summons than Legends is. But I've been talking about the summons for quite some time. So let's go ahead and move on to my next point. And we're going to talk about PvP, but we're not going to talk about lag. Alright? Because talking about lag in Legends is the same thing about talking about lag in Xenoverse. It's beating a dead horse with a nuclear bomb. It's just, it's irrelevant at this point. I don't care enough to complain about the lag that will likely never go away. So instead, we are going to talk about the unbalanced Rising Rush and Element Factor. Alright, real quick, you are never going to convince me that these rewards are worth it. You will never convince me that being number 1 in the game is only worth 1,500 crystals. No, go to hell. But anyway, everyone seems to hate Rising Rush. I don't hate it because of what it is. I hate it because of what it does. I hate the fact that no matter what, it's basically like a 99% chance of killing any character you hit it with, provided it goes through. And on top of that, whether it goes through or not is completely luck-based. It's whether or not your opponent can guess what card you picked. And it's just that, it's a complete guess. There's no way of truly knowing what a person's going to pick. You just have to get lucky. The same thing, I believe the same thing, is with Charge Impact when 2 people use a strike card at the same time. That shit is annoying, and I wish it was never in the game. It's not even like a terrible mechanic, it just is implemented horribly, because the times, like the speed in which the bar goes up and down is completely random. Sometimes it'll be slow as hell, sometimes it'll shoot up there fast as shit. It's completely random how fast it is. So there's no way of being truly good at it unless you can master when it'll do what. But Rising Rush is even worse, because Rising Rush, if you don't hit it, you can lose a fight just from having your Rising Rush guessed. You can also completely lose a fight, just from having a Rising Rush, go through on you. So it's just like, why is such a game-changing mechanic in the game? It's such a momentum shifter that one Rising Rush can easily, win or lose a fight for someone. And it's not fair. Also, real quick, a little post-edit insert. The fact that you can use Rising Rush multiple times per fight is dumb. Rising Rush should be limited to once per fight. Alright, back to your regularly scheduled programming. And on top of not being fair, you have Element Factor. Now, as a concept, I have no problem with Element Factor. My problem is how unbalanced it is. So with type neutral, let's just make an example. Purple versus yellow. All right, those will be our units. Purple and yellow. Purple versus purple. One strike card. 200k. Depending on the unit. Yellow versus yellow, same thing. Purple versus yellow. One strike card from the purple unit will do maybe 50k if it's a good unit. And then one strike card from the yellow unit will do 4 to 500k. What? Wait. Excuse me? Hold up. What? Why are you doing so much? I get it. You're supposed to be stronger. But why is there like a 10,000% increase in your damage just because of what color I am? If it was like a 10% thing, like if you do 100,000 damage to someone in type neutral, then you'll do like 150,000 to 200,000 with type advantage. You know, like double damage basically. I can live with that. But then at the same time, the purple unit can't do any damage to you. So in the event, it's just purple versus yellow. You can't switch out. Your other characters are dead. Purple versus yellow. Unless you don't get hit at all, yellow wins 100% of the time. And that is not fair. You should still have a fighting chance. Be at a disadvantage, fine. But how element factor is so much of a disadvantage that it becomes unfair. And it gets to the point where people are always scrambling to try and always have type advantage, and it can sometimes force them to lose fights because they end up getting stuck in situations that they didn't plan on getting stuck in. It's stupid and it's not fair, alright? Now, thing about PvP is the only way to get certain equipment. I cannot stand that. But only because you can only get it through rating matches. If you could grind equipment through casual, one, it would give casual a reason for existing. And two, it would be a lot less infuriating. Because one, I knew I said I wasn't going to talk about the lag, but casual matches don't lag like that. Like, I rarely ever see any lag in casual. For those of you who wonder why I go into casual, I sometimes test out teams in casual before I go into rating matches and make videos on them. And I don't think I've ever actually been in like a super laggy match in casual. But in rating matches, it's like every single fight. It's like one out of every 10 fights is actually, smooth. And ones that start out smooth become laggy later on, so it's just like, what the fuck? If casual could at least give you equipment, it'd be nice. And while we're on the subject of equipment, grinding equipment is a pain in the ass. Here's your proof. If you can't see why grinding equipment is a pain in the ass just from looking at this screenshot, I don't know what to tell you. Moving on. When it comes to PvP, there really isn't that much more to talk about. It's really just, there's obviously the lag that will never be fixed. There's the unfairness of Rising Rush. Rising Rush is also invincible to everything except beam supers, by the way. Another little post-edit insert. Melee supers and ultimates will also beat Rising Rush, provided they're at a close distance and are activated first. So, let's just change up the rules, why don't we? Alright, back to the video. Rising Rush just says fuck you to everything. It's not like it has blast armor, so it stops in its tracks if you're being hit with something, and then once the attack is over, it keeps moving. No. It just barrels straight through the shit, and it's like, what? Huh? If it worked like blast armor worked, where like it could tank anything, right? Nothing could stop it, but anything could slow it down. It would give people who, have Vanish an opportunity to vanish things. I feel like if you have Vanish, you shouldn't be punished for using a blast card with death. You should be able to pull out. Now, granted, if someone hits their Rising Rush too late, you can pull out of it. But if someone gets that timing perfectly, they'll reach you before your blast even comes out. Rising Rush also moves faster than any other move in the game as well. So it's like, could you not? And also, just a little side note, increase the amount of time for the battles. In PvP, it's fine, but in PvE, that shit's so annoying. I always run out of time. Especially in Ultra Space Time Rush. My god. Anyway. What was I about to say? When it comes to PvP, there are just so many little problems that become one big problem. And that problem is, it's not fun. It's not fun. I have never been at battle rank 50. Not because I can't. Not because I don't think I can be up there. But because I don't want to go through the cancerous torture of getting to that point. The highest I've ever been is rank 47. And the only reason I was there was because of double RP. That's it. That's the only reason I got there to begin with. Before that, the highest was 42. And the only reason I was at 42 was because there was just this one night where I got like 20 bots in a row. I literally told myself, well, I'll just keep going until it stops giving me bots. I ended up falling asleep before it stopped giving me bots. So that's the only reason I was up that high. And speaking of bots, I don't mind bots because sometimes I just want to get my missions done. I just want to, KO 50 characters, win 15 to 30 matches depending on how I feel, and maybe make it to rank 40, right? I'll take as many bots as the game wants to give me just so I can get the missions done. But when it comes to most content creators and a lot of competitive players, they don't want to see 10,000 bots, and I understand that. Why would anyone want to see 1,000 bots show up when we're supposed to be fighting other players? So maybe tone down the amount of fucking bots you get. And the thing about bots is they usually appear when you lose a match. With me, I lose one match and I either get a bot or my game just locks up and I have to restart the whole goddamn thing. It's ridiculous. Rating matches don't even work half the time. Neither do friend battles, by the way. Sometimes you get stuck with this gray screen of death. And it's just, like I said, a whole bunch of compounding problems that just make it an unfun experience. It just makes it a tedious, boring, and frustrating experience. But I think that's just about it for my problems with PvP. I don't play PvP that often. In fact, I very rarely, the only times I've ever consistently played PvP throughout a season was when Super Vegito came out, when Kakunsa came out, and this season with Rose. Those are the only 3 times I've ever been consistent with, during a PvP season. Because they had characters that I really enjoyed playing, and I wanted to use them. But anyway, I feel like it is time for us to move on to the portion of the game that I'm most familiar with, and that is PvE. So let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. Alright, let's get right into it. First of all, stop doing this shit. Why is it that when an event comes out, we can only play the first 30 battles, and then we gotta wait 4 days for the next 10 battles to come out, and then another 3 to 4 days for the next 10 battles to come out? Fuck off with you. Just let us play the whole damn event. If you want to save Battle 51, since they now started adding a Battle 51, if you want to save that, by all means, make us wait a few days for that. But battles 1 through 50, we should be able to play all at once. We should be able to get those 1,000 crystals the day the event comes out. The reason why they do it is because they know there's nothing to do in PvE. And that's my problem. There's nothing to do. But let's talk about that in a second. I want to talk about these bonus battles real quick. I don't have a problem with the Rising Soul ones. I kind of wish they only cost 1 energy. Truthfully, because Rising Souls are, really important. But it's fine. I have no issues with that. Super EXP, you don't get enough EXP anymore. Units now need 8 million fucking EXP to go from level 1 to level 3,000. You don't always want to be using training items. I don't know. I have almost 1,000 roasted fish, which is a really good training item, but it takes 15 minutes. I don't want to wait, 2 hours, the 2 hours it would take to take them from level 1 to level 3,000. So I want to speed the process up by going into Super EXP. Now, the Let's Fights, they give you 1 million EXP. That's how much Super EXP should be giving you at this point. 1 million. Or at least, 700,000. Somewhere around that. That's how much Super EXP needs to be giving you at this point. It costs 2 energy to use, and it takes forever to get a unit up to level 3000 through that. But that's pretty much it. The Let's fights, I don't have too much of an issue with, honestly. I kind of wish there were more of them. If there were 3 of them, that'd be great, because then, just one day you can get someone's friendship rank from 1 to 2, and you can teach Shallot their move. You need 3 of them in order to do that, but there's only 2. So, aside from that, I have no problems with it. These story events don't get updated anywhere near enough. The fact that we're just now getting a hard mode of this Vegeta event is a bit odd, especially since we already have a Scream mode for the Frieza one. But these events don't get updated. We need a Scream mode for the Raditz and Nappa events. We haven't gotten that yet. Those were the first 2 events in the goddamn game. And it all comes around to PvP is PvE, is neglected. There's never anything to do. The story is over almost instantly. The story events take 20 minutes to beat, and then there's nothing to do afterwards except just grind the equipment you get from them. Bonus battles are just for grinding equipment or experience, Zenny, what have you. And then the actual, recommended events, either you can't play all at once, you've beaten them and now have nothing more to do. And with stuff like Legends Road, there isn't actually that many stages for Legends Road. Legends Road is literally just a grind-a-thon for no reason. If there were 70 different stages for Legends Road, I'd be like, bet, that's dope. We need more events, story events, whatever, doesn't matter. We need more kinds of events with more characters. Screw you. Why is there no Cyberman event? Screw it. Give us a Cyberman event where we have to fight a Cyberman 25 different times. At least it's something to do, right? It's something to do. PvE never has anything to do. The anniversary was the only time you could legitimately just play PvE all day and not get bored. Now it's I've done everything there is to do, and I get it. The game is centered around PvP. But they shouldn't completely neglect PvE. There are people, like me, who would much rather play PvE. And then when it comes to the CPU on PvE, holy shit, the CPU is simultaneously the smartest and dumbest thing in the world. It does nothing but perfect vanish you all the time. It just perfect vanishes, and then it copies everything you do to make sure that you can never hit it. And when you do finally get a hit, you no longer have vanish, so you kind of just have to take whatever combo the CPU gives you. And then a lot of the times in the events, like the Frieza events, where it'll be vanish, super attack, your character's dead. Huh? But you do a whole Rising Rush, and it only does 400k. But one super attack from them does 2 million. Got it. And you said this character also has 10 million health? Bet. Our 400k Rising Rush is really going to help with that. And obviously there are boost units for stuff like that, but they're not creative with boost units. They're always just these are the characters that were involved in the saga. That's great, but not everyone has those characters. Now, obviously, for stuff like the Battle 50s now, they always have all these crazy boost units because they realized, finally, that no one could fucking beat them. So they're let's give the Battle 50s of these events more boost units. Which is all fine and dandy, but there's still the rest of the event that has 5 boost units. Hello? What about the rest of the event? Go to hell. Now, granted, the rest of the event is nowhere near as hard as Battle 50. But it's just... You get my point. CPU is busted. That's all there is to that. The events, the ones that you can actually play, don't last very long. The ones that you can't play usually serve no purpose aside from just letting you use that brand new character of yours. At this point, the events aren't even hard. Like, the cooler event was so boring. I never struggled, not once, throughout the entire event. Now, just like, even Battle 50, I beat first try without even paying full attention to it. And I was just like, all right, I don't need things to be as hard as the Cell games or the Frieza event. But my God, it'd be nice if I still had a challenge. When it comes to, trying to save events, because like I said, I understand why they put these time frames on the events. Instead of doing that, why don't you just make the events longer? Like, why do Rising Battles have to be the only events with 100 stages? Instead of, making it so that you can't play the entire event at once, just make the event longer. Give us 100 battles. Give us 150 battles. Shit, I don't care. Just give me something to do. There's never anything to do. It's completely neglected, and that's basically all I have to say about PvE. Real quick, before we move on to the last subject of this video, I forgot to mention equipment collection needs new equipment, and it needs better equipment. There are a few that are really good, but like the regen equipment is shit. The hybrid equipment is meh. I mean, 2 of them are really good. The future equipment is meh. God Key, I mean, there isn't much God Key equipment, so to be fair, whatever. I'll leave that one alone. But basically, equipment collection needs better equipment. Fusions especially. There literally is just 2 of them that are just like Super Saiyan. Like, one of them is literally just a Super Saiyan equipment that just so happens to have a Fusion Warrior tag with it. So, equipment collection needs better equipment is all I'm saying. But anyway, now I'm going to talk about the Legends tickets. I made a whole video about the Legends tickets, but it was a very quick. I didn't really talk much about it. So, as you can see here, I have 50 Legends tickets. That means I've done 5 multi-summons on the new Goku Black Banner. And looking at what units you can get in it, it's really good. Look at this. I mean, you've got both transforming Gohans. You've got Fusion 13. Bojack's right under Gohan. He didn't quite make it into the video. And then you've got Legends limited units like Beerus, Gohan, Goten, and Vegito. That's super good. But the problem is it costs 1,000 Z tickets, Legends tickets for that Legends limited character. Now, let me just preface this by saying that's 100 multi-summons for one Legends limited character. The only type of person who's going to be able to do 100 multi-summons in any sort of quick succession is a pay-to-play player. The type of player who doesn't need these tickets. So, I'm just going to propose a fix. Increase the amount of tickets you need, because obviously you got to make it hard. Make it 5, 10,000 even, for a single Legends Limited unit. But make them grindable in PvE. Give us an event that'll never go away. It can have as many stages as you want it to have, and you can distribute the tickets however you want. Truthfully, I would do it either in a Rising Battle type thing. 100 battles, each battle gives you more and more tickets. Or you could do it kind of like Legends Road, but instead of like going into an exchange shop for them, you just, you just do the levels, and then it gives you a certain amount, anywhere from 10 to 100 every single time you beat a stage. And give it a lot of stages. That way it's interesting. Give us the ability to do a lot of different things. Give us some more challenges. Like at the very beginning, you fight one character and you get like 10 tickets for it, like at maximum. And then give us like 25 stages. Stage 25, you fight 3 people. Like they're all level 3,500. And if you beat them, there you go. There's like 1,000 tickets right there. Make it so that there's no challenges. You can't use skip tickets. basically making it so that you can't just like skip ticket your way through and, you know, just get Legends Limited after Legends Limited. No, you actually have to try. You actually have to play the game, and it should be fun, right? It'll give us something to do, basically. That's how I would have done the Legends tickets, personally, not through summoning, because as we went through before, summoning isn't exactly the greatest thing in the world. But that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. I am open for discussion. In the description below, there will be a link to my Discord. Join that Discord. If enough people join it, then I will make a part 2 of this. And in that part 2 will be you guys. We'll have a voice channel on Discord, and we can have a debate. We can talk about it. We can talk about Dragon Ball Legends, things we like, things we dislike, things we would change, things we would keep, everything. We can have a full-on discussion, and we can even do it live to, you know, get other people outside of, you know, this one community into the conversation. So if you've made it this far into the video, as I said at the beginning, thank you. Share this video around. Let's get this video to Rhyme Style. Like I'm serious. Like let's get this video to some of the bigger ones like Nano, Rhyme, D-Free. Let's get this video to them, because if it reaches them, then there's a good chance it reaches Bandai. And if it reaches Bandai, then they at least know that there's some discontent in the community. If this video can go from, you know, the maybe 30 views that it's probably going to get to, you know, 10,000, and if we can get Rhyme and people like that into the discussion, to actually see this, maybe Bandai will take note and actually make changes. And speaking of changes, there will be 2 more Dragon Ball Legends streams on Twitch. The next one will be battles 41 through 51, and the one after that will be the 2.1 update. If Dragon Ball Legends has not fixed everything, every last problem that I mentioned in this video, in that update, you will never see another Dragon Ball Legends video on this channel, and you will never see another Dragon Ball Legends stream on Twitch. It just won't happen. I refuse. Legends has one chance. There's a reason why I stopped playing Xenoverse. There's also a reason why I don't play Fighters as much, which is ironic because those are the 3 games on my end card, which you will see at the end of this video. But let's just get this video out there. Again, if you've made it to this point, I've taken up over 40 minutes of your time. Let's not waste it. Let's not have you waste, like, what is this video going to end up being, like 45 minutes of your time. Get this video around. Plaster this video on Twitter or any social medias that you use. Get this video out there. This video needs to be seen, and it needs to travel. But I'm not going to take up any more of your time. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, comment something, join the Discord so that we can have a discussion in the near future, and share this video around. And I will see all of you inmates back here at the asylum for the next video. Enjoy this title card, this end card, because it may be changing very soon. Peace.